Hi, the person you've reached is using a screening service from Google and will get a transcript of this call. Go ahead and say why you're calling.
To do a reaction video about maybe smoke weed.
Hey man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, they can't take the call right now. Thanks, and goodbye.
Well, let me try that again. I heard him for a second.
5, 4, 1, 2.
All right, are we here? Are we on? Can you hear me?
If that his phone was answering my phone for me, and I didn't.
It's all good, dude. It's all good.
Yeah, I have me.
Anyway, how you doing?
I am cleaning my engine right now.
Oh, shit. Do you want to do a reaction video instead?
I can't. I gotta. This is time sensitive.
All right. I guess I'll talk to you later then, dude.
I'll call you. I'll call you back in about. Do you have today off?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call you back in like a half hour.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you later. Love you.
All right,
Well, that was the show, guys. I hope everybody had a good time listening to me and Luke have a little reaction video. We'll see you next time on Local Podcast for New Locals. We're back. Fucking podcast going. Let's do it. What do you want to react to, dude? I've got two ideas. We can look at the analytics of the YouTube channel, which is one of my favorite things to do, but I'm not sure if you like that. Or, bro, our Francis Ngannou video is now top of the list. And guess what? That means we might be a fucking MMA channel, bro.
Fuck yeah, dude.
How do you think about that? Anyway, we're back, people. Ah! Guess what, bro? 4 days ago, local news for new locals with the big help from Local Podcast for New Locals, featuring my probably the man that loves me more than any other man on the planet, my brother Luke. We've passed 1,000 views. How do you feel about that?
That's a celebratory bowl you're talking about.
I was just about to say I got a joint to smoke about that, dude. Hey, Braves with the Jays. All right, you know what? And if you're out there listening, guys, go ahead and spark up. We just hit 1,000 views.
Load that. Load it fat. Let it fall out. Overflow. I'm really liking, I never saw this show before, but I'm really liking Northern Exposure.
Yeah. Mom loves that show.
Yeah, we're watching every episode together from season 1, and we got all the seasons in the library.
But yeah, we got the last 28 days, we doubled our views. We doubled my views from the 2 months before that, or the 3 months before that. How do you feel about that? The last 28 days, I got more views than the first 30 days, the first 3 months. Because we're too good, bro. Even my local news for new locals, my last episode, that even has more. Everything's up. I got green arrows pointing up all over this thing, dude.
We got to make the green go up to make the green come down.
Yeah, dude. Because I'm trying to get my bitch ass in a strip club soon, and I need to get a new tattoo too. What do you want to get?
I got a cool tattoo artist over here, a local. He's got really good prices. He's really good.
Yeah.
He just does what I like, the stencil tattoos, the black.
Just
black.
easy. I don't need a big fancy. I might get my next tattoo. I think I'm gonna get the death card from the tarot deck.
So what are you gonna? That'd be sweet. Like what the death card? What does that mean? Does it mean death?
The death card is first and foremost. It's the number one symbol for Scorpios, which I'm a Scorpio, if anybody's wondering. And it's if you got your death card pulled on you, it means change is coming. Something's gonna die. There's a cycle dying, and if it's reversed and it comes out, it means you're resisting a change. Something. It can also mean real death, but primarily it means change. At least everybody says that, because whenever somebody pulls out the death card, everybody acts like some sort of fucking psycho. They act like a pussy. Oh, the death card, no. But I want to get the death card right on my arm. I want to get it drawn.
That's deep, man. That's real talk. It's real shit. It's heavy shit right there.
It might cost a lot, though. I don't know how much I want to spend on it. Something detailed like that might cost like $300. I don't know if I want to spend that much money. Oh, what do you want to call local podcasts for new locals? Can do a new segment. We can react to things, or we can finally start Cyber Bigfoot MMA, and we can finally merge our two passions for Bigfoot and MMA at the same time, and we can just give our takes on MMA, and then if we ever get an MMA fighter on the show, we'll talk to him about Bigfoot. How does that sound?
That's a very specific niche.
It is a very specific, but here's the thing. I'm thinking I want to hear Chael Sonnen's Bigfoot stories. I'm not sure if he has any, but I want to hear them.
Actually, let me make sure I can pull this video up. I'm sending you the video, okay?
All right. But Chael Sonnen lives in Westland, Oregon, He's probably been around a Bigfoot or two, even if he doesn't know it. And I bet you there's a bunch of fighters that come from the Pacific Northwest. Randy Couture, Chris Lieben.
Did you listen to
Dan Henderson?
The last episode of my Bigfoot sighting, it was a lady that right over here in Southern Oregon, right in our backyard on the Williamson River where I go fishing.
That's one of the sketchiest things about that spot where you live. It's right next to like Crater Lake and all those devil zones.
Yeah, the Highway 97
Highway
video.
97 is a sketchy fucking place, dude.
It's been going around online with that trucker at that rest area and that Bigfoot call. You probably listened to it.
I do remember that video. That was fucking... It was
Yeah,
weird because it sounded almost like our air raid horn, but it was like an organic air raid horn.
I texted you the video we could react to. I don't know if you've seen this one. I told you about it a while ago, but
let me see.
Yeah, it was. It's like an air horn. I've heard that one time out here.
Okay. All right, I know what you're talking about. Let's see. Let's get a reaction video. Thanks for sticking with us. We're finally there. We're finally reacting to Chael Sonnen's story of who DB Cooper is. Luke's told me to listen to this for probably, a year now? Shit, you've been telling me a long time to listen to this. But anyway, let me see.
He also did a follow-up video a month later.
Oh, really?
I think like the FBI got a hold of him about it. It was like,
really?
Hey.
They did? You think they're still looking for his ass?
Yeah, the following video is a FBI agent called me about DB Cooper.
Damn. Let me see.
But this is the first one.
Here, I'll watch it. Oh, I got it queued up right now.
DB Cooper. Guys, I get asked about this every so many years. So a number of years ago, roughly 2012, I wrote a book. And when I wrote the book, the gentleman who was the publisher, Arish was his name, great guy, relationship over the phone, and he called me and said, hey, man, this thing's all about MMA. And I had pieces on walkout music, and I was breaking out, this is how you weigh in, and here's some of the great matches. He said, it's all about MMA. What else do you got? You got to give me something. Like, this isn't the MMA book. I was featured. This is Chael's book. What do you got that's Chael? And I said, well, the most interesting thing I have that nobody knows, I know who DB Cooper is. Mm-hmm. So I end up writing this in the book. Now, okay, so what? I know DB Cooper. Okay, so what? Well, no, that turned out to be a big deal. People were very interested in, well, what do you mean that you know DB Cooper? So every time something comes out on DB Cooper, which is every few years, I get asked about that. Now, a Netflix special just came out that's rotten garbage. Netflix is rotten garbage to start with, but this DB Cooper case, and you have to understand, if you go and spend 15 minutes studying DB Cooper, you've wasted 14. And the only reason I say it is there's nothing new that's coming out, but you'll have the...
Fuck, man. Yeah, I fucked my shit up. 1 second. There we go. Just fuck her up. My mic got messed up. Oh, my mic's... I didn't have it tightened, so it, like, fell. It's a bitch. It's just being a bitch. 1 second.
New enthusiasts, or you'll have these new spy catchers, or you'll have this new show like the 3-part Netflix special. They're just regurgitating what we've already heard. Now, the reason for that is nobody has the information but the FBI, and nobody lies more than the FBI.
Yep.
Now, to call somebody a liar, to say they lie, that sounds very derogatory, which is not actually my intent for the FBI. They lie. They call it police work. It's 101. Tell the guy this so and try to get this information from him. They call it police work. Mm-hmm. But I just share with you that they don't tell the truth. Now, if you want to know who DB Cooper is and you want to be able to come in and say, no, I know who it is and not you, don't bring something that got published 10 years ago, which is all the Netflix special did. It was just rotten garbage regurgitated. And it's even regurgitated by people with the FBI who've retired from the FBI. They're waiting for you. They're not going to give us any more clues. They told you enough. You either know him or you don't. They could either catch him or they couldn't, unless they came to me.
I love his fucking delivery. That's the thing about Chael Sonnen. You know, he's got a good delivery, a timing that just can make you giggle. He's funny. He's always been the funniest. It got him a fucking few championship fights, too. It's crazy.
I will tell them 2 things that they've never revealed to the public. And I only share that because people keep asking me, how was the Netflix, how close? Then it was garbage. Everything they put out that isn't called Dave Chappelle is garbage. But this was no different because all they did is repackage things from the past. Same as if you were to rewind and go watch the last DB Cooper thing they put out 3 years ago, or you go 5 years before that. It's all the same thing. That's it. And it's just speculation. Like, they had this woman on. She was in episode 3. Her last name was Cooper. And she wanted DB Cooper to be her uncle. Like, she thought there was something cool. Like a Jesse James or a William H. Bonney-esque to it having been her uncle. And she comes out and it's her only in line on Netflix. And she says, well, my uncle, John Doe Cooper, is the only suspect the FBI have that they did not clear, which is just, that is blatantly not true. Just so you understand, if any of you saw this and you think there's some guy named Cooper and that's the only person the FBI has across up, she made it up. I don't even know where she would have got it. Somebody told her she believed it was true. Seemed like a perfectly nice lady. It's not true. I will tell you how he escaped the woods. That's one thing that the FBI never has. They haven't even speculated.
How does he do it? I'm actually wondering. Like, I'm thinking about the case, and I'm like, all right, Chael, tell me what the fuck. How'd he do it? Come on, Chael.
Quite the opposite, at least publicly. Publicly, they're acting as though FBI knows. They know how we got out of the woods, or he did it. They know what the plan was. They don't know if he did it. They don't know if he died. They don't know if a bear ate him. They don't know if Chael's right. But I know 2 things that you don't know. And I'll never give you his name. And I will admit, a little of that's childish by me. A little of that is I want to keep being asked. I want to continue to be the guy who knows. But I'll give you more information.
He is the bad guy. I love that too. He always reminds us kind of somehow that he's still the bad guy. Chael Sonnen will always be the bad guy.
You ever gotten a 3-part Netflix special or you got in your last clippings, or you're going to get with Freedom of Information Act that the FBI is going to slowly leak out to you. I will tell you it's not the guy in the pictures. It's not the guy that went on to be a bank robber and they shot him and he's dead, and that's why the DB case closed, because they've got them. And they never got him. They never got him. He died in Arizona 2 years ago. 2 years ago. It was the week between Christmas and I think it was the 27th. But he also fled there. I got the whole story. They don't know who he is. And I was with his grandson, by the way. Because, see, I do have a little bit of a fantasy that someday I come and reveal it to you, but I can't come and reveal it to you. I sound a little bit weird saying I know who DB Cooper is. I didn't know I sounded weird. I just know who DB Cooper is. I grew up in Oregon. He left from the Portland airport. He jumped out near Seattle. He went into a wooded area. There was only one witness to DB Cooper, and they've interviewed many. Like this Netflix, this piece of garbage, like the woman saying her uncle something Cooper. It's nonsense. This is nonsense. But when he jumped into the wooded area, let's back up to the witness. Because there's only one. 4 or 5 people saw him. One woman, flight attendant, was with him start to finish. She's the only one that looked at him. She's the only one that remembers. She's the only one that recognized him. And from Jump Street, when the composite drawing came out, she said from Jump Street, that's not him. That's a terrible drawing. That's not what I described. Now, her biggest problem was complexion. It was a Caucasian male, and she always thought, beneath the hair and the hat and the sunglasses and the fake mustache, she thought it was a Hispanic gentleman. Now, she's close. She's close. The gentleman was Indian. So she had that part wrong, but she's also the only one that had it right, and what everybody's running with on the Netflix special, and the one that's going to come out in 3 years, but it's just not true. It's just not true. And the wooded area that was jumped into, 10,000, I'm making it 10,000 acres of nothing but trees. Of government land, but that government land backs to Indian land, which is where the real DB Cooper was raised. He hunted there. He lived there every summer for 32 summers. They would spend 3 months and go into these, he knew right where he was. They said he couldn't have made it. Nobody could survive that. Nobody could make it out. Nobody knew that terrain unless it was your backyard because you happen to be Indian. It happens to back to Indian land. These things can all be confirmed. None of these things, you won't get this in the Netflix special. FBI hasn't put this out. I'm sharing with you. That's not my big clue that he jumped into land that he knew. My big clue is what he did that so he could get out. Where he was, how he got home by supper. His own wife doesn't know. His wife's back here in Oregon. So I ended up being with his grandson, by the way. I was with his grandson. There's a parade in Oregon. There's a rodeo. It's called the St. Paul Rodeo. It's like a top 4 rodeo in the whole country. Very, very big rodeo for whatever that is. But there's a parade that comes along with it. Very small town, but that's where my mother's from. So I've been going to the St. Paul Parade as far back as I have a memory. Now I take my kids to it. And I happen to be standing with one of DB Cooper's kin. So I asked him. I brought up DB Cooper. Hey, you seen this thing? It's going around on Netflix. This thing's coming out. DB Cooper. Hey, DB Cooper. I said it a couple times. I finally looked at him and said, hey, you got any idea why I'm asking you about DB Cooper? He said, no, I don't know why you keep saying that name. And he didn't know. But the wife also does not know. But I know. And it's just one of those things. It's a little bit weird that I don't get asked. There's nobody with my level of notoriety that's ever come out and made such a claim. But moreover, that has also said, I will talk. I won't give you the name, but I'll give you 2 pieces of evidence that the FBI has that they've never told you. Nobody's even made those claims. I would look like a fool if I didn't have that, but I do have it. And I'm waiting for you to ask me politely and perhaps, absent of the name, I will tell you.
Well, dude.
What is that? Is that it? Is that the...
Well, there's the second video, which is FBI agent called me about DB Cooper. And this happened like 5 months ago. Let's see.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Guys, I brought you a piece a number of years ago, top of my head about 4 years ago, and had to do with DB Cooper because I know the man. That was never supposed to turn into a thing. I was making a comment and I was making conversation. It was topical all the time, and not to mention, he had passed away. So it was just fresh on my mind. I brought it to you guys. Well, it did turn into a thing. And I generally feel that I have a sense. I have a sense for what you guys are going to want. You write the thumbnail and you got these things. You're going to get some clicks and there's going to be comments and people are going to care. And I get it wrong all the time. The ones I think are going to be hot are lukewarm. The ones that I think that are in passing like this turn into a thing. So fast forward 4 years, take me back to about 3 weeks. I brought you a second piece on DB Cooper. Now, that was very similar feeling inside of me that I wanted to sit and talk about something, but you guys weren't overly going to care. I didn't know for sure if you would even remember who DB Cooper was. And
I almost didn't. I really, at a certain point, I just forget what the fuck they're talking about. And the only time I'll remember is because Kid Rock says DB Cooper and the money he took in that song of his. That's one of my favorite songs. Oh, Cowboy. Cowboy is my favorite song.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a jam, dude. Anyway.
The reason it was fresh in my mind when I brought it to you last is Netflix just put out a piece of garbage on DB Cooper. And when I tell you it was garbage, it was well made. It was like well produced. The video was good. They just didn't bring you any new information. The information that they did put out was largely wrong. They knew it. A simple fact check would, and they put it out anyway as though it was accurate. It just bothered me because I know about the case. 10 years ago, a different piece was done on DB Cooper, and 10 years before that. 10 years in our future, we'll see yet another piece on DB Cooper. You come to the same conclusion. They draw you and push you into the same conclusion, to the fact that people believe this is obvious, this is done, this is all handled. The problem is, whether you're going 20 years back and all the pieces that have come up since and tell this piece of crap by Netflix, or 10 years in the future for the next guy that grabs it and does it, there's no new information. It's all the same information. It's just presented a little bit different. So when you go into the same direction, you go, okay, it's him. Okay, it's either him or it's him. It's the only people they brought you. It's the only people that you have, which then eventually gets picked up and puts on the internet, which a lot of you hold as the absolute holy grail to anything. I Googled it. Well, the information hasn't changed. Information has never changed. It's not because it isn't out there. The FBI never released it. They give you X amount. They feed you because it's got popular opinion. They also have to hold things so that they have them. They're doing investigations. They don't want the actual guy to know we're on to you. Just by example, there's a number of reasons within the body of police work that they would preserve information. But it's the same piece, and it will be 10 years from now. Now, I brought this to you. You guys were so curious. I started getting personal calls and text messages from people within my circle, social media, and The View, and the YouTubes, and the comments. So I wanted to pay this off. Now, I am being a little kid. I'm well aware. I'm well aware that you can see through what I'm doing. I want to be asked. I want the attention.
Yeah.
It would not was sworn to a level of secrecy. And I think the only part of me, aside from being a little kid who wants to be asked, the only part of me, which probably represents 2 to 3% of this, is his wife doesn't know, and neither do his grandkids, and they live right up the road. I'm in Portland, Oregon. They're from here on up the interstate as far as Salem, which is only 40 minutes away. And I'm not looking to start a thing, but that is, in fairness, a very small part. It's largely that I want you to have to continue to ask me, but I've dangled this all the way to the FBI. Just through you guys. Just why don't they ask me? If they took the time to call me, I know information that they have that no one else does. I will provide that information just to prove that I know. Now, if the FBI did that, and I've always thought they'd take me up on that. I really did think I'm going to get a call. So somebody's going to come see me. It would not be a shock to them. They looked into this guy. They showed up at his door. They searched his stuff. Now, people don't know that. And the internet was a very different thing, and you could keep things quiet. But they did. Now, I have a feeling that could have been up to 100 people. Just have a feeling. That's never come. I have a feeling they really looked in probably to a lot of people, but I don't actually have that information. But I'm sharing with you when I reveal to them who it is and what I know about it, that they know that they haven't told anybody else. They go, man, okay, Chael's got it right. And that is somebody that we call it a suspect? You call it a suspect when they get a warrant and they come out to your house? Probably, to some degree. All right. So I get the phone call. Get the phone call from the FBI. Now, there's a part of me that thought I was being catfished. To this very moment that I'm speaking to you, I'm not completely confident in telling you that I was contacted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I'm not. But then there's a big piece of me that believes I was. Here's the way the story goes, okay? The gentleman calls me up. He's an older gentleman, and I can hear it. But he tells me, first off, he gets my number. That's unusual. That would be unusual to get it. And then you've got a guy pulling a gag who's an elderly gentleman that I think we would at least put in the category of they're not really into prank phone calls, but more above everything else, he didn't try to get anything. He called to share something with me. So it was a very believable piece, but here's what he shared. We have no division within the FBI that is looking into D.B. Cooper. There is not one person in all of Quantico or a derivative thereof that is looking into D.B. Cooper. So, Chael, there is nobody to contact you. I was on the team, of which was such a small team that by the time it dwindled and I retired, it was only me and one other guy. That was the entire thing looking into D.B. Cooper. Other people weren't handed. Now, you've got the classified information. You've got the information out there if somebody wanted to go and look into it, but they're not. Who's letting me know? This is why nobody's contacting you. This is done. Two things. First off, we are content that the public is content. Start with that. We're content that I thought this was a powerful statement, that the public is content, so we have nothing further to do. And secondly, if we were to continue to have a department that's looking into it, we are then revealing that we have failed to do our job. Right now, it at least has the appearance, and I'm changing the words a little bit. Right now, it at least has the appearance that we've done it, but the person has died. Okay. That would help explain why nobody has reached out, want to do a little trade of information here. But he didn't follow up. He didn't try to seek it. He just let me know. It was me and another guy by the time that I left. That department is long gone. Those files exist, but nobody is looking into them. The department gets contacted every time one of these producers wants to come out and do a show ever so often, but we don't give them any new information. They're never going to have more information than they have now unless they use the Freedom of Information Act, which even if we do, we have ways to stall. Thought this was interesting. And at no point, he shared this info with me, at no point in there did he begin to ask. I was waiting the whole time. I was waiting for an ask. Hey, I used to work on this case. Hey, I have my suspicions. Hey, put my mind at ease. Hey, tell me. I keep coming out and saying, I know two things. I know two things, and I know the FBI knows them, but I know none of you know them, that it hasn't been really. He didn't ask me either of those things. So in that regard, I thought I was dealing with an actual agent who has retired, who used to be on the case of D.B. Cooper.
Here's the thing. I will say, the Kid Rock song is still the best. D.B. Cooper and Kid Rock are on my white trash Mount Rushmore. You know, what is that song? Kid Rock.
Cowboy.
It's a jam.
Cowboy.
That is a jam, huh?
A great jam, man.
Hey. Well, shit, where are we at on our shit? Oh, we're at 36 minutes. Damn.
Yeah,
Anything
man,
else you want to react to while we're here?
So I think it's cool that we've been to a lot of these areas that Chael talks about.
Mm-hmm.
St. Paul, Eugene, the whole Portland, Washington area. It's just kind of cool to picture, what DB Cooper might have been like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense that he was a Native American, or I don't know if he said he was Native American, but if he was Asian Indian or Native American, but it makes sense if he was Native American, just cut his hair. And
I love how we as Americans don't consider Mexicans Native Americans. We kind of gloss over that in our minds. That's the lady was like, "Nah, I was Mexican," so they just never looked for anybody that was Native American because they were Mexican, and Mexicans can't be Native American. It's just weirdly racist, I believe him. Here's the thing. I'm going to believe Chael Sonnen. I'm going to believe him that he has the answer and that he knows who it is, and he'll never tell us. That's my stance on it.
Yeah, and nobody's looking for him.
Yeah.
I'm packing up my game and I'ma head out west where real women come equipped with scripts and fake press. Find a nest in the hills, chill like Flint. Buy an old drop top, find a spot to pimp. Then I'm a kid, rock it up and down your block. Go with a bottle of scotch and watch lots of crotch. Buy a yacht with a flag saying chillin' the most. Then rock that bitch up and down the coast. Give a toast to the sun, drink with the stars. Get thrown in the mix and tossed out of bars. Sip the Tijuana, I wanna roam. Find Motown, tellin' fools to come back home. Start an escort service for all the right reasons. And set up shop at the top of Four Seasons. Kid Rock and I'm the real McCoy. And I'm headed out west, sucker, because I wanna be a cowboy, baby. With a top left back and the sunshine shining. Cowboy, baby. West Coast chillin' with the blues. I wanna be a cowboy, baby. Riding at night 'cause I sleep all day. Cowboy, baby. I can smell the thing from a mile away. I bet you'll hear my whistle blowing when my train rolls in. It goes like dust in the wind. I once was lost, but now I'm just blind. Palm trees and weeds, scab knees and rice. Get a map to the stars, find Heidi flights. And if the price is right, then I'm gonna make my bid, boy, and let California ain't nobody call me a cowboy, baby. With a top that back and the sunshine shining. Cowboy, baby. West Coast chillin' with the boom fire. I wanna be a cowboy, baby. Riding at night 'cause I sleep all day. Cowboy, baby. I can smell the thing from a mile away.
I hate to say this, we've been listening to the wrong Kid Rock song. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I was waiting for DB Cooper for the DB Cooper line.
I do love that song, but I just Googled it while I was jamming out, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be listening to the Ba with the Ba. Which one's better? Okay, reaction battle, Kid Rock's song, Cowboy versus Kid Rock's song, Ba with the Ba. There we go.
You gotta love the red fedora and the shirt.
I fucking love it,
shirt.
dude. I love him, dude. Yes.
Fucking trailer park. Let's do this.
He looks like a fancy Dakota Shadle.
Yeah.
There's something about a white dude with dreads, too, that kind of makes you realize he doesn't give a fuck.
midnight glancers and the topless dancers, the gander freaks, cars packed with speakers, the G's with the 40s and the chicks with beepers, the northern lights and the southern comfort, and it don't even matter if your veins are punctured. All the crackheads, the critics, the cynics, and all my heroes at the methadone clinics. All you bastards at the IRS for the crooked cops and the cluttered desks, for the shots of jack and the caps of meth, half pints of love and the fists of stress, for the hookers all tricking out in Hollywood, and for my hoods of the world misunderstood. I said it's all good and it's all in fun. Now get in the pit and try to love someone. For the time bomb ticking in the heads they hang, all the gangs getting money in the heads to bang bang. Wild Mustangs, the porno flicks, all my homies in the county in cell block 6. The grits where there ain't enough eggs to cook, and for DB Cooper and the money he took. You can look for answers, but that ain't fun. Now get in the pit and try to love someone.
You know, overall, great riff, great lyrics, positive message too, I think, too. You know, fuck all that fucked up shit. Get in the pit and, you know, fucking try to love someone, dude. While I play this sick fucking white trash fucking new metal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
kick-ass
nobody's gonna
riff.
Nobody's gonna take it personal if you fucking rob a bank. You know, just go steal from somebody's mom or dad or grandma or sister. You know, just go rob a bank like somebody with a soul.
Yeah.
You know, they got insurance.
Well, and we all know that we would do the same thing if we had the fucking balls.
The American dream.
Yeah, if we had the fucking balls, we could, but we don't want to. We're happy with our low grade lifestyle, and we're not willing to risk everything by robbing a bank. We're happy with our just like fuck it, we'll pay the fucking bill in 2 pieces or whatever. We'll fucking just borrow somebody's car until I can buy one, whatever. I'm not gonna rob a bank. But this guy was like, I'm gonna rob a fucking bank. And then inspire Kid Rock to write this heavy ass fucking white trash new metal riff and become like a white rapper of the 2000s. This song reminds me of Mason a lot, Mason Walker. Mason and Bree Walker like hanging out and then with David Wanger playing pool or something at the fucking with like a really shitty fucking like some cowboy screaming this song. He's like trying it, but Mason loves Kid Rock. Who doesn't though? Look at him. That's a down-ass jam, dude. Gets me pumped up.
Well, man, fucking good podcast, dude.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. It's been like 40 minutes. This is going to be a bitch to edit. All right. I love you, bro.
All right, love you.
All right, I'll talk to you later, dude.
The person you've reached is using a screening service from Google and will get a transcript of this call. Go ahead and say why you're calling.
Watch it all burn down. Once at home, where we were standing, all the memories burn down to nothing.